Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is Sherry. This is Sherry's opinion. In lieu of what's happened with Barry Morphew, I thought it would be a good opportunity for me to do my my video that I've wanted to do for so long on domestic violence. Domestic violence is not only does it affect women, but it affects the children, and it also happens to some men, because there are some women that abuse their men. My second husband, his wife used to abuse him. She would always hit him, especially when he was holding the baby. And I told him that I think she was wanting him to hit her so that she could put him in jail and make a mockery out of him. But with Barry in prison or in jail, I know he's presumed innocent until he is convicted and proven that he is guilty. But I've known from the very beginning that he is guilty. Everybody knows it. And all I want him to do is admit to where Suzanne's body is, so that she can be laid to rest for her family, for her daughters. She has 2 daughters, and now they don't have either parent, and that's sad. And Maya Malete, justice is coming. Your justice is coming soon. I promise. There are so many women. Casey Jones, not long ago, lost her life to her husband, who destroyed her body with a hammer, and she had 4 children, 2 by a previous marriage and then 2 with her new husband. And luckily he was caught fast, and he has been put in prison. He's still awaiting trial. Kelsey Barrett, domestic violence. They had 1 baby girl. Jennifer Dulos, her body has never been found. And the infamous Shanann Watts with her 2 little girls and the baby Nico. And this doesn't just happen to grown married women. It happens to teenagers too. So for teenagers that are getting into dating, when 2 people get together, it's a honeymoon. You get the butterflies, you're all lovey-dovey all the time, you hold hands, everything is good and perfect. But then one day something will change, and you'll be going out or something, and he'll say, "Are you wearing that? Is that the way you're wearing your hair?" Or you'll come home with a new haircut, and he doesn't like it, and he gets mad. Or you'll get your nails done, and he says it's a waste of money. You'll go to the grocery store, and it'll be, "Why were you gone so long? Who were you talking to? What were you doing?" Um, it can be anything that will set off a trigger. You cook him food, that's not what he wanted. If you can't go out and he wants to go out, and he gets angry, and having children in the mix makes it so much worse. So I'm asking the younger people, when you see that little red flag come up, or the pit of your stomach, or if he makes you jump, or he makes you do things you don't want to do, that you're not comfortable doing, the best thing to do, if you're not with them all the time, if you're just in school together, the best thing to do, don't ever be alone. Hang with your friends, multiple friends that you know and can trust, that will protect you. Friends that have cell phones, if you don't. Tell your parents, because your parents don't want you harmed. And if you are an older woman, grown adult, let your family know. Let your coworkers know. Let your best friends know. And I'm not sure which lady it was, but I watched a video, and oh yes, I do. Susan Peterson. That's another one. She put all kinds of letters in her office drawer, that if anything was to happen to her, it was her husband. She was going to an attorney, and so was Maya. She was due to be in an attorney's office the very next day after Thursday night when she came up missing. When you have children in the mix, sometimes it does affect the children in a worse way, because after so many times of him abusing you, all he wants to do is take the kids away permanently. And once that red flag goes off, where you get that bad feeling in the pit of your stomach, you need to get your little duckies in a row, all your paperwork, take it to work, store it there, get a backpack, store your medications, anything that you can, that you have to have. Forget the dishes, forget the furniture, forget it all. Even the photographs. And I know women in our photographs. That's what we want. If the house catches on fire, that's what we want, our memories. But I tell you what is more important than to have your children alive than the photographs. Nothing. Never let them know that you plan to leave. Because once they know that, they won't give you another second to make a step towards the door. And I know that's hard to hear. But when you are with somebody that is that controlling, and, you know, they can slap you and say, oh, I'm sorry, I'll never do it again. Here's flowers. Let's go out and eat. And then, you know, everything can be good for 2 weeks. And then it's back to the attitude with him. And if a man respects you, he will never hit you. And for a lot of men, if their woman gets pregnant, that causes a lot of anger in him too. Because then you will be paying more attention to the child than you do to him. And he doesn't like that. He's a control freak. He wants all the attention. He's a narcissist. My first husband was very controlling. He would take little bitty tiny sticks or a little bitty rock, and he would put it behind the back tire of my vehicle, so that when he was at work, if the car had moved, or if it looked like that stick or that rock had been ran over, he would know that I'd been somewhere. He later on told me the things that he used to do. But there were times that he would hold me up against the wall by my throat. My mother was there to witness that one. She didn't say anything. But my mother's the type, well, you made your bed, you lay in it. But the thing is, when I met him, I was 13 and he was 21. When we got married, I was pregnant and I was 14 and he was 22. And that's another video, but my thing is, no one deserves to be abused. No one. And if you have to move. But always have somebody by your side. Don't ever be alone. Ever. Never. Because whatever he does to you, these kids could watch. They could witness it. And you don't want that. And then, who knows, they may be next, you know. Some people get things in their head and they just can't get it out. And honestly, a protection order ain't worth the paper it's written on. It does absolutely no good. And I know because I've had them. And they tell you, well, we can't really do anything. Because by the time you call the police, by the time that they get there, he's gone. He's done left. And you're terrorized. And so are your children. So I'm saying all the birth certificates, social security cards, anything like that, put it in a lockbox or whatever, and keep it in a safe place where he can't find it. Like at your work, or at your parents' house, or your best friend's house. Because I guarantee you, if you are with a man like that, there are people that say, honey, how can you deal with that? He's so mean to you. Don't you see what he's doing to you? I know you have friends that tell you things like that. And you need to listen. And I know you think that, oh, he said he wouldn't do it again. But he will, I promise. And that's not the kind of life you want to live. That's not the kind of life you want for your kids. I don't like violence and chaos and stuff because I grew up with it. You know, my dad, he was pretty violent, and he was an alcoholic. So I never did like violence. But it's a cycle, and once you get in that cycle, it's like, okay, you met this guy, you got married, he was abusive, you got out. The next guy that you meet, he's the same way. And why is that? Excuse me. But why is that? It's because you have not sat back and broke that pattern. You yourself have not said, I deserve more. Now, I have said in another video that I told my son, sometimes in relationships, you have to be selfish. You know, you can't, you can't you have to be in the same frame of mind with your partner. You have to agree on the same things. Not always. Nobody ever agrees on the same thing all the time. But excuse me. You have to decide that I'm worth more. I deserve more. And it's like, for an example, whenever I met my second husband and we first started dating, he used to tell me about stories about how his wife would hit him and beat on him in his sleep and cheat on him and all this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, right. Because he's a big boy. And, well, she was a big girl. I didn't realize. But, then after we got married, I had people telling me, thank you. You have changed him so much. He is so happy now. He used to be so miserable, and his wife was so mean to him. And I would look at them like, what? And they would tell me stories about things that would happen between them two. Because this is a small town. Everybody knows everybody's business. And I thought, no way. Beating on him? I don't think so. Yep. She did. And I thought, boy, she must be stupid. Because one thing, if you love each other and you're married, why are you hitting each other? You shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be cheating either. I have kind of an old fashioned way of thinking that if you're going to be married, you shouldn't cheat. And you shouldn't hate on each other and talk about each other in a bad way to someone else. Unless something is happening and you need help. And if someone notices things, bruises on you, just tell them. But if someone is controlling you, reading your phone messages and not trusting you, to go to the store alone, you have to take the kids with you, and then he's alone. Or if someone, and I'm going to use Suzanne Morphew as an example. Everything she had, everything that she was, her family, her mama and her daddy, her brothers and sisters, they were all in Indiana. That's where she grew up. That's what she was. That's where she was happy. And he moves her out to Colorado. In the middle of basically nowhere. Yeah, she had a nice big house. Whoop-de-doo. I'd rather be happy and live in a box under a bridge than be abused and live in a $2 million mansion. I've been poor and I've been okay, and it doesn't make a difference if you're not happy. There's so many ways that you can get out. There's so many ways that the government can help women. They can shelter you where he can't find you. They can get you on the right path to getting your education if you need that. They can get you a job if you need that, a home, good schools for your children. As far as I understand, they give you a cell phone, like for emergencies. They help with your rent, your utilities, all that stuff. And if you're Native American, the Native Americans do the same thing. I don't think that there's anybody out there that doesn't help. And I know some of you think, well, if I go to my parents, they'll say, I told you so. Well, we're like my parents. You made your bed, you sleep in it. Well, I didn't. I moved out. Because I wasn't going to sleep in it anymore. But it's very important that you don't settle, because you deserve better. Your children are looking up to you. Make them proud of you. Make yourself proud of you. And don't worry about men. Right now, if you're going through this, you don't need another man. Be independent. Be strong. I was waiting to see if he was coming downstairs. him and his wild hair. Psh, he needs a haircut. But, I suggest that you, birth certificates, social security cards, if he is controlling the money, just as little as you can sneak out, stash it. And make sure that you take these things somewhere that he cannot get to them. He needs to not know what you're planning. So don't tell the children, because they might tell. Yeah, kids have a tendency to do that. And when you do leave, I would suggest you have people there with you. Friends, males, and if nothing else, the police department, somebody from an advocacy center that can help you. And something else he's going to try. Meet me here, meet me there. Let's talk. Don't do it. Do not do it. You want to talk to me? Talk to me now, over the phone. Don't. Once you leave, do not go back. Not for 1 second. Even if it's, oh, he found this and I need that. No. He can mail it. Do not go back. Don't go meet him nowhere. Once you're out and everybody's alive still, don't go back. Okay? It's very important. I wish you all the best. And remember, you deserve better, and so do your kids. And if you're just a teenager, get away from him. Because you don't deserve, you do not deserve to have your life taken so young. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.